Hello, my dear followers, and welcome back to a new series. Actually, celebrating my 25K views in my channel, I decided to conduct this research oriented session series. This series is actually, or this playlist maybe, is actually directed toward, I would say, early beginner researchers. So please accept my apologize if you are a researcher, a research assistant, or maybe a senior researcher, as you will find the content of these series very trivial for you. As I mentioned, my targeted here is early career researchers. I mean, for my perspective or for my team, those undergraduate students and some postgraduate students who didn't have the opportunity to learn the basic research skills needed for reading, writing, collecting papers. And I decided to start this thesis with some fundamental uh, skill related to research, is simply how to collect subscribed papers. As you know, a huge amount of the research literature review content is subscribed. And whenever you are an Egyptian researcher, you have a very, very big opportunity related to what's called the Egyptian Knowledge Hub or the EKP. Usually, I got surprised actually when I found maybe some sort of a senior researchers in Egypt who didn't have an account in EKP. And I believe it's really an added value to have an account and to access a literature. What I'm going to show you today is a very simple video related to how to make a free account, how to use this free account, and how you can download a series of papers from different big or famous publishers across the world using the EKP or the Egyptian Knowledge Bank. So let's start. So this was, as usual, sharing my screen. And let me turn off the camera just to maximize my screen. And let's start. Okay. So EKP, you can search on it using EKP, as you can see here. EKP, which is the Egyptian knowledge. Okay. Already I have an account. So I will go here to sign in. If you don't have an account, you can just create a new account. You just need two basic inputs, your national ID, the ID number, and to have an institutional Egyptian email, I mean, .edu.eg. This is typically what you need in order to create an EKP account. And herein, I'm going to use my logins, and this is what I see after logging in. And basically, as I mentioned, our target today is related to English literature papers written in English. I mean, scientific papers, of course. And I'm going to the sources and English sources. And as you can see here, you will find a series of local and global publishers. So let's go first to for example, I will be biased to my specialization. So let me start with IEEE. And here you can see have two options, one related to conference proceeding and other relating to the whole society. So let's go to the whole society. And this is typically the normal IEEE Explorer window. Uh, Typically, as you see in your normal view, instead of one added feature, which is you are now having the authority of the EKP. So when I'm right, you can search here, of course, using the author's name, the paper's name, the journal name, the volume number, the ISN, the DOI, whatever you want. So let me write my name, for example. And here you will find the publications with my name. So as you can see, this paper in the normal way. So if I go, let me open a new window to show you. So if I go here to IEEE Journal of Photovoltaic, yes. And again, I will search by my name. And again, let me make the sort. So as you can see, this paper, starting with advanced transistor-based dynamic equivalent circuit model, this paper is subscribed in general. However, when you have this EKP access, you can now go here and you can just press this PDF and you can download the full paper. So this is a very big advantage of making an EKP account. Typically, you can do the same when you go for any other publisher. So we can go, for example, to, as you like, for example, we can go to Elsevier, for example. And here, as you can see, we have different options. This is for the textbooks. This is for Scopus. And maybe we will later on show this, but let's go to the journals. So again, here, this is the full journals. So let me make a search. Okay, again, here, as you can see, this is one of my recent papers. Again, this is, you can view the PDF here from this. I can maybe also I can make it by time. So these are full access available, as you can see. So you can easily choose any of them and you will get, you have to check this. Mm. And you will get the full access for any of the papers. So this is as simple as you can see, very straightforward for any publisher found here, any publisher. So you have Springer, you have Elsevier, you have IEEE, you have IOP, Institute of Physics, you have IAC, you have a region of publishers who are maybe cover, I would say 90 to 95% of the literature you are going to search. For me as an electrical engineer, I believe that IEEE, IOP, Elsevier, and Springer is very sufficient sources for making a good literature review in different topics. In addition, you have some important added values related to this account. So for example, Scopus. Scopus, we have a very two big famous database of indexing in research. So what do we mean by indexing is the indexing is a process of archiving literature in form of journals. So whenever your journal or whenever the journal you are choosing is indexed, that means that your paper is automatically indexed in this database. In the engineering field, again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm subconsciously biased to my specialization as engineer. So I'm considering mainly these famous names related to engineering, but generally you can reflect this to other domains as well. But in engineering, the most famous databases are Scopus database and the Web Science database. The Scopus database is found here, so we can go from Elsevier to going to Scopus database, and here you will find the full database. Again, you can search for a document, for author, whatever it is. So if I go here and if I search by my name, here you can find all publishers with my name. So you have here two publishers. So I will go, this is myself. Here you can find the full Scopus indexed for or full Scopus profile for any researcher, even yourself, indicating the number of citation he has, the number of publications, his H index or her H index. Maybe in another session we will talk somehow about what is an H index. And this is a profile of distribution, either in terms of number of publication or in terms of number of citation per year. You can find the full, let me narrow down a bit. Okay, so you can find here the references. You can, of course, rearrange the references either by the news or by the top citation or whatever it is. So this is a complete profile. You can find it. And if you want to check now, for example, you are reading a paper published in a certain journal, and you need to check that if this journal is Scopus indexed or not. So what you can easily go is that you can go to here to sources, and you can select the title, and then you can search with the journal name. Let me go, for example, IEEE journal of, so IEEE journal of photovoltaics. Here, for example, you can find this journal, and you can find all about the journal. So for example, if you open it here, you will find that these numbers related to the journal sat score, and this is the directions. So it's related to physics, electrical and electronic engineering, electronic and optical and magnetism, and so on. And this is the coverage. So this is the journal covered from two, the ranking of the journal in a certain specialization, and so on. So these are, and of course, you can make this ranking with respect to any specialization. I mean, so this is a ranking, for example, related to electrical and electronic engineering and so on. So this is simply how you can see a profile of of an author or a profile of a journal. Another important database is related to the JCR, or the Journal Scientific, sorry, the Journal Site Score Report. Let me make it for you. So again, this is also, you can access Scopus from here. So this is the same way you can access Scopus. As I mentioned earlier, there is two big famous indexing databases used for indexing journals in different specialization. The first one we already highlighted, which was the Scopus. The second is the Web of Science, as you can see here. So just press here, and you can find this journal citation report, or JCR. So what you just need to do here. Okay, so what you just need to do is simply, you can, let me just close this. You can write the journal name. So again, let's go for the same journal, IEEE Journal of Photovoltaic. So this is, for example, so this will open the page of the IEEE Journal of Photovoltaic. Again, you can read every information about this journal, and here you can find what we can call usually the quartile of the journal. So as you can see here, this is a Q3 journal based on the energy and fuels, and this is a Q3 again based on the material science and so on. So you can read about the quartile. Usually a quartile is an indicator that indicates maybe, let me say, the importance of the journal. So as I just mentioned, the higher the quartile, the higher the impact of the journal. So this is one of the aspects where you can use in order to check what extent the paper you are reading in a prestigious journal and so on. And this is, by the way, of course, this is not the only indicator, but it can be one indicator out of many when you do the literature review to see to what extent your key papers are published in journals that is prestigious enough so you can trust and you can build your work based on it. So this is another added feature enabled by the AKP or the Egyptian Knowledge Bank. So as I just mentioned, I believe this is a good opportunity for any researcher to explore and to download papers. Definitely, there are some publishers who are not included in this database or in this platform. But as I mentioned earlier, I would say that maybe 90 to 95% of the big publishers you will find it here in the AKP. Thank you for your attention, and I hope that this video adds something to you as an early career researcher. Thank you very much, and looking forward to another video in this series.